I'm Sinead Irwin. I'm a functional nutritionist working together with the Rising Health Clinic in Salt Lake City. I wanted to say a few words on nutrition and lifestyle, in particular for men's health and vitality. So my clients always tell me I didn't know how bad I felt until I knew what it felt like to feel good. We suffer from so many issues like fatigue, depression, excess weight, brain fog, bloating, all issues that we accept as part of our norm. It just happens to me. It's just part of my day-to-day life. Joint pain, itchy skin, sweet cravings, sleeplessness, constipation. But in reality, these are just some of the symptoms of the toxic foods that we eat every day. So why are we so sick? We're breathing in car exhaust fumes. We're living on fast, fried, convenience, fatty foods. We're breathing in industrial production. We're putting preservatives and chemicals in our packaged and canned foods. We're spraying pesticides in our fruits and animals, and we're eating them. And our animals are also eating them, and then we're eating their byproducts. We're pumping our animals full of steroids to fatten them. There's sugar and artificial sweeteners in all of our refined processed foods. Our foods are genetically modified and cross-hybridized. We have overcrowding in our factory farms, and so we've got bird flu, salmonella, E. coli, mad cow disease, and we're eating the meat from these animals. We're abusing alcohol. We're overusing prescription drugs. We're putting additives in all our foods. So all of this results in an intestinal bacteria build up in our bodies. And then we've got inflammation, which is our silent killer. Inflammation is actually a normal response by the body to protect itself from something that it deems as a stress or a foreign invader. On the surface of the body, it looks like heat or redness or swelling. And then we've got pain. But then the chronic low-level inflammation at the cellular level is known as the silent killer. And that develops without pain. And it's what can lead to obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. So there are many inflammatory conditions that we're seeing increasingly these days. We've got heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, arthritis, allergies, asthma, IBS, IBD. These are just some of the inflammatory conditions that we're faced with. So inflammation can be caused not only by lots of dietary factors, like we alluded to already, but also environmental factors, stress, physical injury, acute and chronic illness, and also genes play a factor. So what are our causes of stress? Well, we've got family, career, school, financial, pollution, low net gain food. So as a nation, we are overfed yet undernourished. What happens is we're pumping all these foods into our bodies that are not recognized by the human body as food. So the body, in an attempt to protect itself from what it deems as a foreign invader, fuels inflammation, an inflammatory response. So what are the effects of this stress? So by the way, the body does not differentiate between physical and mental emotional stress. This stress causes inflammation. It causes an increase in cortisol, so our stress hormone, and that prevents us from falling into our deep delta healing phase of sleep, the restorative phase of sleep. So we wake up feeling tired, and what do? We crave sugar and coffee for stimulation. This depletes our adrenals, so we end up living off borrowed energy. It throws our acid-alkaline balance out of whack. So the body wants to maintain an alkalinity slightly above the pH of the blood, so slightly above 7.35. But the problem is stress fuels inflammation. Foods that the body doesn't recognize as food stimulate the inflammation. And so inflammation breeds in an acidic environment. Okay, so what do we do about this? Do we pop a pill? Do we stick a Band-Aid on the issue? I believe that we've got to look at 4 areas. So there are 4 nutritional synergies that we need to look at in the holistic approach. So we've got our primary foods, secondary foods, our environment, and our lifestyle. Okay, so nutrition is a secondary source of energy. So I look at nutrition, so food that we eat as our secondary foods. It's the primary foods that really nourish us. And the primary foods are things like career, relationships, physical activity, spirituality. This is the circle of life that encompasses, so each spoke of the wheel of life is one of our primary foods. And that's really what fulfills us, what nourishes us as a person. So joy, spirituality, creativity, exercise, positive relationships, career fulfillment, social life, all of these aspects of our lives. And then we got our secondary foods. So this is the USDA MyPlate, which says that we've got to have equal portions of fruit, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. This is what I believe. We got our fruit, vegetables, whole grains, protein, but we got water and fats and oils. But if you look carefully, you see what encompasses the plate. It's the relationships, the career, the spirituality, the physical activity. That's really what nourishes us. So when we nourish through nutrition, so when we try to incorporate more nourishing foods into our lives, we start to eliminate the toxins, but we see improved physical, mental, and emotional health like within the first week. It doesn't take long for the body to start to feel better. We've got to nourish ourselves through whole foods. Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. So we need to look at real whole foods with as few ingredients as possible, as close to as nature intended for them to be as possible. Lots of leafy greens, to limit processed foods, sugary drinks, juices. We need to start chewing our foods. We sort of gobble and go. We're so stressed and in such a hurry. Digestion starts in the mouth. We're taking carbohydrates. So we don't give ourselves a chance to digest food properly when we just rush our way through it. It's not a bad idea to start to load lots of superfoods into our smoothie. It's a great way of getting a lot of the nourishment that we need. And most importantly, enjoy what we eat. Food is there to be enjoyed. We need to nourish ourselves through food, but through also enjoying it, and in a social setting, enjoying the flavors, smells. It's all part of our digestion. So we really are what we eat. Good nourishing food builds a stronger immune system, gives us more energy, improves our mood, reduces anxiety and depression, helps us think more sharply, focus better, eliminates the brain fog, reduces our cravings, helps to aid weight loss, aids in digestion, reduces pain, reduces harmful toxins out of our body, and helps us repair and heal. Okay, greens are one of the biggest missing sources of nourishment from our diets. But when you look at everything that they help us do, we really need to find ways of incorporating more. And that's one of the reasons why I mentioned the superfood smoothie, because it's a great way of getting an extra handful of greens in there. So they aid in blood purification, cancer prevention, improve circulation, strengthen our immune system, promote healthy intestinal flora, and many other approaches. Green is associated with spring, a time of renewal, refreshment, vital energy. Nutritionally, greens are so high in calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium, phosphorus, zinc, as well as vitamins A, C, E, and K. They're loaded with fiber, folic acid, chlorophyll, and many other micronutrients and phytochemicals. Okay, we need to be careful of sugar. We're eating so much sugar these days in our diets. It's hidden in all of our refined processed foods. But the problem is sugar decreases our immune system. It increases our insulin levels, causing our bodies to store excess carbs as fat. It causes a rapid rise of our stress hormones, our adrenaline, and our cortisol. It increases anxiety, makes it difficult for us to concentrate, causes crankiness. We need to look at ways of eliminating refined sugar, artificial sweeteners, and in particular high fructose corn syrup. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, there's a high correlation between diabetes and obesity and high fructose corn syrup. No surprise there. It's also been linked to hypoglycemia, ADD, yeast overgrowth, and an imbalance of neurotransmitters to the brain. It's important that we reduce our intake of hypertension. It also inflames the hippocampus and causes memory issues. Okay, so what do we look at for sweet alternatives? We can choose fresh, frozen, or dried fruit options, raw honey, natural sweet spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, naturally sweet. Okay, then we need to make sure we're getting good quality protein. So the animal source of protein are the obvious meat, eggs, fish, and dairy. The wilder, more free roaming the animal, the better the quality of, and the higher they are in the good fats, the omega-3s. So vegetable proteins, protein bars, protein powders, then sort of vegan meats like seitan, tofu, the non-processed versions. And leafy greens, there's a lot of protein in greens. Also our nuts and seeds. Okay, another element of our nutrition that's often not paid close enough attention to is water. So a lot of us are walking around dehydrated, and this then causes symptoms such as the reduced brain function, reduced exercise capacity, increase in our heart rate and blood pressure, increases in UTIs, increase in kidney stones, constipation. Okay. Another one that we need to make sure that we're incorporating every day is good sunlight. Sunlight heals our wounds, heals our skin disorders, heals bad bacteria, helps to lower blood pressure and cholesterol, increases our oxygen in our blood, builds our immune system, and guess what? Depression. Okay, symptoms of a vitamin D deficiency are poor gut health. Vitamin D is essential for maximum absorption of such minerals as calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, and phosphate. We get sick and infected more often when we have a vitamin D deficiency. We're more tired. We've got painful bones and backs, kind of joint issues. Depression is a big one. We've got a D deficiency. With impaired wound healing, hair loss, muscle pain. So vitamin D is an important one to make sure we're getting adequate levels of. So what are good vitamin D sources? So we've got cod liver oil, we've got fish like swordfish, salmon, tuna, egg yolks, orange juice fortified with D is also one over limit orange juice with sugar. Milk fortified with vitamin D, also one, but just be careful of too much dairy. I prefer the non-dairy alternatives. Then you got your yogurt, sardines, beef liver, foods like that. Okay, fats. We're terrified of fats. We think fats make us fat. We need to embrace good fats. Our bodies need them, our brains need them. Smart fats do not make us fat. So we're talking good fats like mono and polyunsaturated fats. They provide us with vital energy, enhance our immune system, protect our cells and organs, and they help lower blood cholesterol levels. So we need to look at incorporating more omega-3s. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce our inflammation and fuel optimal health. So we're talking wild fish, acai berries, tropical oils like coconut oil, avocados, nuts, seeds, extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed meat. So like the wilder, more free-roaming the animal, the higher their byproducts are going to be in omega-3s. Like we got like buffalo, venison, bison, wild game, pasture-raised beef, meats like that are going to be higher in omega-3s, and also organic free-range eggs be higher in omega-3s than factory-raised. Okay, exercise is huge. The body heals 8 times faster when we exercise regularly. So exercise is crucial for optimal health. Okay, sleep. Sleep is probably number 1. The body heals and cleanses and repairs itself when we sleep. If we're not sleeping deeply, we're not healing, cleansing, repairing. So we need to make it a priority to get between 7 and 8 hours sleep if we can. Then we wake up feeling refreshed and happy. More importantly, love yourself. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My details are here on this last slide.